victims of rape, a male victim and one female. With such pain comes the ripple effect that destabilized the victim's worldview. Wambui Otiende interviewed the two and sought experts' opinion on how best to help victims of sexual harassment. Here is her report.
When you meet 28-year-old John Atanda, nothing from his looks will betray the inner pain that he has gone through in the past, until he deliberately sheds off the camouflage to open that guarded window into his experience. Atanda is a victim of sexual violence, and it happened at a party 5 years ago. His party mates hatched a devious plot that was to change his life forever. Being the most sober, Atanda stepped out to buy more alcohol, only to come back to a spiked drink. In that state, his 5 friends sodomized him in turn and left him for dead.
I felt a victim of rape before, a couple of years ago, and I was raped by friends of mine, people that I trusted so much. And I can tell you it's not easy to be a victim of rape. And the journey is not easy because the people that you trust most, wale wase umeaminia, hawa ndio wase wataku walk through, wale wase that you can lean a shoulder on, and then these are the people that backfire on you again. And the journey has not been easy, but with time, the healing process just comes, and you learn how to forgive day by day.
Atanda, not able to open up about the incident, suffered physical, emotional and psychological trauma in silence.
It was just on a normal day. We just had a party in the house, to be precise. We just had a party in the house, and one thing led to the other, and I was drugged, and then later on I was sodomized.
He would only start overcoming when he sought counsel. He says he has since forgiven his perpetrators.
I didn't take any action because sometimes just the fear, you just don't know even how to begin saying, to begin reporting. It's just like people who abuse you are not even people that come from far. They're people who are just within you, people who know you. So sometimes there's that fear of, I know them. There's that fear of, let me just hold it on.
You just left them to be?
I just left them to be.
And that has
You just be forgive and forget.
However, sexual violence comes in different forms. For 26-year-old Pauline Juma, founder of Rebirth of a Queen, her first sexual encounter was allegedly arranged by a friend.
And it was around 7 a.m. in the morning. Before you go, let's just go help my brother so that I won't have a lot of work when you go to school, and then I'll take you to the stage. You see, I keep saying that was the day my life ended. Like the little fierce, loving Pauline ended on that day.
Pauline, who was 16 years old then, sought medical attention at a nearby clinic but did not report the abuse to the police. She feared if she reported, she would expose her mother to the ultimate danger, or so she said she had been warned.
So I went to the hospital. We used to call it Wanga. Right now it's the Kibera Health Center. And I told the doctor everything that had happened to me. And I just told the doctor, I need medication, and I just need you to do everything that you're going to do. So I was given a PRC. They took me through all the medication, and I lied. I'm going to report. I lied because they wanted to help me, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to speak to my mother. All those excuses I gave.
She, however, fought with post-traumatic syndrome disorder that included suicidal thoughts and actions. Her behavior was so weird that eventually she was expelled from school.
The principal, the best thing they did to me was to send me home. I was becoming a threat to the school.
Feeling betrayed by her closest friends, that is her girlfriend and the brother, and with the burden of protecting her mother's life, Pauline resorted to art, that is writing and drawing, as a way of coping with her situation. Pauline, a candle as her mother used to call her, started her organization Rebirth of a Queen on the 1st of June 2020. It aims at helping young girls who are victims of sexual and domestic violence. Situated at Kiserian, the organization has a total of 18 girls rescued from the streets.
1st June 2020, we opened up our first shelter. It was in Kiserian, but in a very different place.
According to Cheryl Mwangi, a psychologist, people who commit rape go through psychological disorders, some with unmet desires, while others do it in retaliation to similar previous encounters.
In some cases, yes. Especially those who were abused at a younger age. And that is what was introduced. The first sexual act was introduced like that. So most of the time, they end up becoming perpetrators. And also the other thing is that a lot of promiscuity, especially for women who are abused at a younger age, it happens a lot. Yes.
Victims do not know what to do after rape and end up cleaning themselves, something that Mwangi strongly discourages. Cheryl, however, advocates for professional counseling to victims of rape and enhanced public awareness campaign on the right steps to take after a rape incident.
Able to teach consent, psycho-educate on consent, informed consent on issues around sexuality, then it will be easier for people to understand where to draw the line. But a lot of our cultures, even in our families, how are we teaching our children on informed consent? Understanding that informed consent should go all the way to the point of actually letting this person, be intimate with you.
Cheryl, who has been a psychologist for 7 years, says societal undertones behind rape culture has the most damaging effect on the psychological temperament of the victims, who have been stigmatized by a victim-blaming society, which compounds to change in behavior or suicidal tendencies among victims. The psychologist also stated that most victims of rape end up in suicidal thoughts because they never recover fully, and everything to them is always a trigger of the incident.
The first person they spoke to about the incident, how the person treats them, how they respond to it, then that one will contribute highly on the healing journey of that particular individual or the victim. Because if the person doubts them, if they are accused, if they are blamed for it, then number one, they will not talk about it. So they will suppress every feeling, every emotion that comes with that experience. So healing for that person will never happen.
Echoing her sentiments, Valencia Jibera, an advocate of the High Court, says that victims after an incident of rape should report to the police, then later get medical attention.
The first step after a victim has been raped, the first thing they should do is they should not take a shower and they should not change their clothes. The first step that they have to do is to go to the police station. And then after they go to the police station, they will be, if it's a lady, they will be taken to a gender desk. All police stations nowadays have a gender desk so that they can treat such cases. Because, something like rape, it's not something you can just go at the station and start talking about it. So you'll be directed to the gender desk. And once you've been directed to the gender desk, now you will be given an officer. And then now you can be able to explain what happened. You can tell them that this is what happened, I was raped. Then they will give you a form, a P3 form, which is free of charge. You're given a P3 form, and then that P3 form, you will go with it to the clinic. Then a medical examiner will examine you and take a look at what happened, take a look at your body, and then they will fill that form. And then that form, you take it back to the police station.
Jibera highlighted on different sentences that perpetrators get according to the Sexual Offences Act, and which sexual offences are termed as rape.
Every sexual offense has a minimum prescribed sentence. Okay. Now, for rape, it can be 10 years to life, to imprisonment for life. For attempted rape, the same, 10 years to imprisonment for life. Like when the judge is passing out the sentence, it cannot go below 10 years. Okay. The minimum can only be 10 years or to life imprisonment, depending on, of course, the circumstances of the case and the severity of the case. Now, where there is mainly a major difference is for defilement. They have various sentences depending on the age brackets. For like 11 years and below, it's life imprisonment. From 12 to 15, you get 20 years. Then 15 to 18 years of age, you get 15 years and above.
It is clear that victims of rape go through distressing experiences that sometimes leave them with feelings of self-hate and blame. But speaking up helps a victim get the much-needed psychosocial help. For Channel 1 News, I'm Wambui Otiende.